So organic versus paid. Last time I glossed over this when I said to you that paid is here on the left, Google ads, there's Bing ads. But that is, now we're really going to get into the nitty gritty moving forward of organic search. Note that Facebook ads, I really don't put Facebook ads under search engine marketing because Facebook ads are targeted. That came up as a question. The reason it's called search engine marketing is because when I type in a search keyword into Google, used car dealer, Maplewood, New Jersey, what's happening is I'm seeing organic listings that are the ones based on people's websites, and I'm also seeing the ads based on the advertisements. Whereas Facebook isn't necessarily based on what I'm searching for. In Facebook, I could be looking at an article about whatever it happens to be about the weather, and I'm going to see ads because Facebook targets ads based on certain parameters. So I can say, I would like all of the people who show an interest in the ADA and the American Academy of Pediatric Dentistry, and they are between 25 and 40, and I want to show them an ad. So that's the difference. So Facebook advertising certainly is something, but it doesn't come under the SEO umbrella. I would say, though, it is under this phase 2 umbrella as we drive traffic to your website. Organic search, as we said, organic search is based on the content that you have on your web pages. And here's that used car dealer. You can see here, these rankings here, New York used car dealer, that's all based on what's on these people's websites. Paid search, same thing. The ads are triggered by what my search keywords are. Ranking factors. When it comes to ranking factors, there are more than 300 ranking factors, as many of you know. And so how am I possibly going to go with 300 ranking factors? And the good news is you really need to nail a handful of them, 10 or so, to really be in a good position. So I want to underscore that we rank pages, not websites. Now, certainly there are thoughts about how a website itself ranks. That yes, your website will rank as an entity in and of itself. But generally speaking, I wouldn't worry about that. If you come across something called the domain ranking or domain authority, that does exist, but I don't want you to worry about that. Worry more about pages themselves. So I want to rank our Invisalign page. I want to rank our home page. And you say, we're not going to say, I want to rank your website. We're going to say, my goal is I want to rank my webpage for Honda dealer, Maplewood, New Jersey, whatever it is. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to try and match our page to the appropriate keywords once we learn the search intent. So here's some ranking factors. I won't go through them all, but we'll go through a couple. Link profile, that is how many people link to you. Information architecture, which is nicely spelled wrong. Information architecture is the structure of your site. So you want to lay out a site. It doesn't matter as far as Google is concerned if you have a navigation like home, about, services, patient information. But it does matter if under about you have, meet Dr. Wank. And then again, under patient information, you've got meet Dr. Wank. Then you have a meet the team page that isn't in the navigation. So Google scours through a website, and you can think of it almost like an outline form. Google goes through all the steps in the outline. And if your outline isn't in a regular order, if you're teaching kids about an outline form, Roman numeral 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you've got a Roman numeral 8 floating on another page, it's not coherent. It's not cohesive or coherent. Keyword selection, of course. Obviously, if we want to rank for veneers and we don't have a page about it, it's not going to happen. Google My Business Profile, I put a question mark. This is a slide that's a couple years old, but the concepts still apply. That I can't tell you that if you and I have the exact same website or the exact same profile for ranking on a certain keyword, that Google My Business won't make a difference, but I certainly know it can't hurt if you have it filled out. Page speed matters. How fast does it load? Keyword density. Am I saying Dr. Wank is a dentist in Tribeca, New York, because he loves Tribeca, New York, because Tribeca, New York has great restaurants that are only really available in Tribeca, New York, so come to Tribeca, New York. Too dense, but that's keyword density. Keyword placement. Where is the keyword? The top of the page say dentist, general dentist, Tribeca, or at the very bottom right, like we said last time, does it say Dr. Wank, my friend Dr. Wank is a dentist in Tribeca. Accurate NAP we're going to get into with local SEO, but that's name, address, phone number. Is it the same across the web? Mobile ready. How fresh is your content? How long is your content? If I have a page about, deep cleanings, that's 3 sentences, and you have a page that's 40 sentences, you'll probably rank higher than I will. Review numbers come into it from maps listings, and we'll talk about the rest of these title tags, alt tags. How old is your domain name? Always register your name for a good 10 years. You register it for 1, it's not going to hurt you. But again, if there's tight competition, the longer you register it for, the better, because it signals to Google that you're not just trying to rank and leave. Server location, you should have your servers located in the same country where your website is. SSL, you've got to have it. Now, there are other questions about, well, if people spend a lot of time on a certain page, will that make it rank higher? What's the bounce rate, responsiveness? So these are just a kind of idea of what goes into it. And I will narrow these down to help you, to show you what really matters. What I did with this here, and this is not accurate, this is just a representation. The weight is unknown and it can change. Clearly, if you look at the the keyword selection, even where that is on here, if you look at the keyword selection, that is certainly going to be probably the primary factor in ranking for a keyword, because who cares how fast my website is compared to yours if we both want to rank for and we'll take Jolene's Fertility Institute of Hawaii. If I want to rank for IVF procedures or about IVF costs, if my page is incredibly fast and I don't talk about IVF cost, well, it doesn't matter how fast it is. I don't want a web page that's fast that doesn't talk about what I'm looking for. So I would think that keyword selection is the most important thing. And past that, and we're going to look at these steps, but past that, we're going to get into the other factors.